Hi everyone, this is Umar Hamid, and I want to share an idea with you. It's an NLP process called the belief change process, and it shows you an elegant, powerful way to change beliefs, not in 10 years, not in 5 years, not in 22 sessions with your therapist, but in one session. And here's how it goes. We need to identify what the old belief was. So let's say you're working with someone and their old belief is, I'm not good enough. So the question is, how do we change that belief? Well, the first thing we do is we put 4 markers on the floor, and this will actually anchor different places on the floor so the person that's going through the process knows which part of the process they're in at any one moment just by knowing where they're standing. And you as the guide know exactly where they are as well in the process. So the 4 markers are, number 1, a spot for the old belief, and you could put a label on the floor or a coin on the floor. And then one step ahead of that is the second marker. What's the positive intention of that old belief? And then the third spot is the consulting space, where we can figure out, what needs to change. And the last marker, the fourth one, is the new belief. So we've got 4 markers spaced 1 step apart. So once again, so the person knows which part of the process they're in. So you get your client to step into the first marker, the old belief, and you ask them what the old belief is. And let's say someone says, my old belief is, I'm not good enough. Well, you get them to stand there in that spot, and you say, okay, say your old belief. And they say, well, I'm not good enough. So you go, great. And then you tell them, when you think about you not being good enough, a picture pops up in your mind's eye, and they go, oh yeah, there's a picture pops up. Say, okay, imagine that picture is on the tip of my finger. Keep your head straight, and what you do is you create figure loops that go up like this, while they're thinking about and watching that image that represents them not being good enough. And what you're looking to do in that spot is to watch for the eyeballs to move in a very smooth fashion. When what this does is it loosens up that old belief, and it gets their psyche ready to let go of that belief. Once you get that smooth eye path as you're moving your finger with the picture of their belief on it, you know that they're ready to create the change. Then you get them to step 1 step forward to the second marker, and that is positive intention. And you ask them, well, that belief that you're not good enough, what's the positive intention? And sometimes a person can come up with the answer. Sometimes you need to help them come up with the answer. So one of the things that it could do is, if they're not good enough, they won't try dangerous things or scary things, and that way they won't look dumb. And so it's a great way of keeping them safe. So they've got this old belief, I'm not good enough, and its positive intention is to keep them safe. And you say, okay, step up to the third marker, consulting. And they step up into that marker, and you say, okay, who's someone that you know of, or someone that was from history that could advise you on this particular issue? You've got an old belief, I'm not good enough. The positive intention is to keep you safe. What's a new belief that you could get that would keep you safe but allow you to do the behaviors you want to do? And someone might say, Oprah Winfrey, she'd know how to help me. And you get that person to imagine Oprah standing right in front of them, and then they step into Oprah's space, so they're looking at themselves standing at that marker, they're imagining themselves there, they pretend they're Oprah, and they say, whatever Oprah would say. And once Oprah gives them the advice they need, they step back into the marker, and they look at where Oprah, they imagined she was standing there, and they receive that information. And once they've received it, you usually can see some change in their physiology, that they feel a little bit more relieved. It's okay, who's somebody else that could give you some advice? And they might pick Abraham Lincoln, and they hear that advice, and they swap around again so they can hear it properly. And they might think that, Wayne Dyer was a cool dude, he'd know what to do there. And they get that person talking to them, and they swap around to hear it. And when they've got 3 pieces of advice from people, you say, okay, now that you've got this advice, the old belief doesn't serve you well. The positive intention we want to keep, which is, in this case, keeping you safe. What's a new belief that would allow you to do the things you want to do, but still keep you safe? And they might say, listening to the advice from Oprah and Wayne Dyer and this power in being yourself might be a new belief. Be yourself. And Mike go, if I was really myself, that's the ultimate place where I feel strong, and that's where I'd be the safest, right? So you get them to step into the number 4 spot, the new belief, and when they're there, you say, okay, pretend you're Italian. With your right hand, I want you to say the new belief. and they go, be yourself. You say, do it again, be yourself, and they say it 3 times. Then you say, okay, now with the other hand, say the belief. To go, be yourself, be yourself, be yourself. Notice there's a difference in the voice tone and the gesture. It's more powerful here and not there. That means there's not integration between the 2 sides. And you say, okay, what I want you to do is I want you to use both hands, and I want you to say the new belief, be yourself, be yourself, be yourself. And then you get them to step past that marker and then distract them with a silly question that gets them, that breaks state from what they were just doing. So they kind of reset themselves, and you might ask them, oh, what are you doing later on tonight for dinner? And they'll say, oh, I'm going out with my family, and they totally kind of break the state they were in. Then you get them to walk all the way around to the first position again, the old belief. When they stand there, you say, this time you don't need to do the eye movements. You go, so what was that old belief again? And if you say it you've forgotten, many times the client goes, they can't remember the old belief. And sometimes they can, but think of the power of that. They've got this new belief, and the old belief is already being forgotten. So they go, I care what other people think, or whatever that old belief was. And then you step forward into the second marker. What was the positive intention? They tell you. Step into the consulting space, and they hear what Oprah said and Wayne Dyer, and they hear all that advice coming in. And then they step into the 4th panel, which is the new belief, and they go, be yourself, be yourself, be yourself. And I wouldn't be surprised if this time this hand says, be yourself, be yourself, be yourself, be yourself, be yourself, be yourself. They step forward again, you distract them again, you ask them, so what are you doing this weekend? And then get them to go around again. You take them through that 3 or 4 times, and then the belief is changed, and the old belief is gone, and it changes their life, and that's not too bad for something you can do in under an hour. Hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, please go to my website, NoLimitSelling.com, and check out some cool resources. There's free stuff there that's going to show you how to be better, stronger, faster. Thanks for tuning in. Take care. Bye.